Hair.
Thank you.
I should have brought some hair
Hello,
this
hello,
morning.
hello. Hey, girl. Hey, I'm Marie Dene. I'm the creator of the Curvy Fashionista, your plus size fashion resource destination. Over the past couple of weeks, we have been doing what's called Speaking of Curves, which is our new Facebook Live series that's spotlighting and featuring other small businesses throughout this time that we can actually support and hear about how they're pivoting through this coronavirus, this COVID situation, because in this time, small businesses are the ones that are going to be the most impacted, and we want to make sure that our small businesses are still here after everything like reopens, right? So today we have a fun guest. We've written about them many times. If you are a plus size bride to be, if you are thinking about getting married, if you are engaged, if you are, your plans are coming up, we definitely want to make sure that you share this Facebook Live with those friends, that you invite your friends to come on over, because we're going to be talking with Shannelle, the owner of I'm going to say Haute Co. Haute Co. Bridal Boutique. And they are a physical boutique, but we're going to hear a little bit about her and what she's doing and how she's navigating this space. So, everyone welcome Miss Shannelle. Hello,
Hi,
Shannelle.
everyone.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, for those of you guys who don't know, for those who don't know, can you introduce yourself and tell everyone a little bit about you?
Okay, I am Shannelle Armstrong Fowler. I actually own Haute Co Bridal Boutique. It actually is in Chicago, Illinois, and we have another location in Charlotte. What we are is a luxury, exclusively curvy and plus size bridal destination. So if you are a bride sizes 14 to 32, then we're your destination. We also are luxury. So we actually carry a lot more of the higher end brands. We invest in a lot of the bigger name designers. One of the things that's very clear to our mission is that we know that curvy women love clothes and they love to look fabulous. And they should not be limited to whatever they can get at the lowest price point. So we made a clear investment in our curvy customers simply because we know for a fact that everyone wants to look fabulous on their wedding day.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, so let's talk how everything has kind of certainly affected and shifted for you, because you are a physical boutique.
We are. We
And
are.
so how has this impacted you a little bit?
Well, it definitely has impacted our locations because we've had to close. And which means is that we are not able to see any brides. And for a number of people who don't really understand how that really impacts the overall bridal industry, January through about April, May are our biggest months in bridal. And then it's kind of like our Christmas, where all we have all our recently engaged brides that come in to purchase their gowns for their spring and fall weddings or their summer and fall weddings. And so, without us being able to serve our brides, we have nobody coming into our stores, as well as we don't sell online. So, and one of the biggest reasons we don't sell online is because it's really difficult to convince, and I would say to any woman, to buy something over $1,000 without a return policy. And so if it doesn't work, there's very little recourse for the bride. So we really invested in a brick and mortar experience because everyone wants to have their say yes to the dress moment. They want to be able to try on as many beautiful looks. However, once we are not able to open, we're unable to deliver that experience. We're unable to pay our staff. Our staff's last day was the end of March. And so what I've been doing in the interim is just reaching out to brides who visited us to make sure that they're okay. We actually still are servicing the brides who actually bought their gowns. We're very fortunate because we do work with luxury designers, not manufacturers, that we're able to get our all the gowns in that brides would need for their
Oh,
wedding day.
good.
Yeah, so we're
Good.
not really experiencing that. One of the biggest things that we do tell our brides, if you've postponed your wedding, we do offer to store the gown for them
Oh,
for up
that's
to 4 months.
good.
Yeah, we do that because first of all, we don't want it to sit in your closet where we know the fiance may take a peek at it, or you may
Right.
to put it back on.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually will store our brides gowns for them up to 4 months. And if they need to store it longer, then we'll put it into a different facility.
Okay, so for those who've already shopped
Yes.
with you, who've already bought their dress is in process of being made, you're still servicing those clients. So
Sure.
for the person who's curious then, like, have you pivoted to at least like kind of showcasing online? Like, how has this pivot to kind of just content period, right? So to be able to make any sales, are you doing virtual offerings? Like,
So that's a good question. And the reason why we do what is called live educational events. So we'll do a live event. We'll look through gowns. We'll place up gowns on our stories. We'll try to keep things really active with Q&A. However, it's when you say the virtual appointments, I think that one of the best things about bridal is that you actually get to touch and feel the gown.
mm-hmm.
And one of the things that we share with brides who are unable to touch and feel the gown because they're doing virtual appointments, even though those are great opportunities for you to actually begin the process, because I do know we have certain shops, like there's a huge curvy bridal group, and I do know some of our stores, like Cherry Blossom Bridal in DC, they're actually doing virtual appointments. I also know that the Curvy Bride in New Jersey are doing virtual appointments. We just are unable to do virtual appointments because we don't feel that it's truly going to deliver the service and the quality that we've always promised our brides. We're so full service. What we can do with that bride is showcase different designs. We can answer questions. We can really be her BFF, we like to call her bridal best friend, and just really help her through this difficult time. And I'm a big firm believer that every experience doesn't necessarily need to happen online. And we also have to this is a huge undertaking for a number of brides. And we love to really focus this time on the different styles, the designs, the questions about fabrics, questions about, alterations, things that we kind of a lot of brides don't necessarily walk in fully knowledgeable about, and they're getting the process. So we look at this time of how can we educate her on the process? How can we educate her about what to expect when she goes into an appointment?
Okay.
Those kind of experiences that we're really captivating with her, capturing with her.
Got you. So if you guys are just tuning in, we are back with another Speaking of Curves. We are talking with our bridal boutique owner, Miss Shannelle of Haute Co Bridal Boutique. And we're talking with her about how she's pivoting and how we can best support this small business in this crazy, unprecedented time. So we started this series because we really, in the plus space, it's the indies and the small business owners who are really like the backbone, who are pushing the industry forward. And so we need to make sure that we're supporting, uplifting, and reaching out to our small business owners, because a lot of us are kind of like, whoa. And especially because today the PPP ran out. They done froze the whole PPP loans, dude. So like, if you didn't get your application in, so like, it's really more important, like, as you are reaching out. So for those of you guys from what I'm understanding, Shannelle, like those who are here, if they are a new bride, one of the better ways to connect with you is by going and watching your lives, your educational series. Am I correct?
Correct. And starting next Monday, what we'll have is virtual appointments you'll get 30 minutes to sit and talk with me and ask questions in a very relaxed atmosphere. Grab your glass of wine, and you'll be able to sign up for those moments so that you can ask all the questions. We can look at images. You can ask me about alterations.
Oh, like a pre.
Yes. It's just to have some fun, and also so you can put a name with the face and a face with the brand, and let you know that a lot of the retailers who are impacted by this coronavirus are small businesses, and they're women who have really put their heart, their soul, and their wallet in a business that was completely underserved. Marie, you know more than anyone else that people, they can jump on the bandwagon and try to throw anything at a curvy person, but these are women who legitimately started their business because they saw they had their own experiences that were less than positive, or they had, like myself, had experiences with friends who were just, it shouldn't be like that. And they're the ones that are on the front line that are being impacted, that necessarily don't have the long dollars that like a United Airline has or a Macy's has, or those stylists who are actually out of work, right? So it's difficult for a number of them. So when this is over, I plead with a lot of the women to please visit those curvy retailers. We actually have a Instagram page called the Curvy Bridal Collective. And it is a collective of a lot of bridal retailers. So it's
That's you?
Yes.
See, this is how you can support. So make sure y'all go follow the Curvy Bridal Collective.
Yes. And it actually will list all the women who are serving these brides, and there will be a big launch in about 2 weeks where there'll be special offers and discounts and things available for you to be able to shop these retailers. We are really banding together. One of the things...
That's beautiful. That is so beautiful.
Yeah, one of the things that I've learned in business, and this is so interesting, you and I both have families that live in California. One of my biggest supporters of California is Magic Johnson. And he said to me earlier when we was trying to get me to work for him, I said, no, I can't come out to LA. But he said, I always remember, Shannelle, we can become competitors, but we don't have to be enemies.
Come on.
And that's the way that we really view. Even though that we may be competitors, we're not enemies to each other. We literally look to serve this entire community. So they're going to be, but if you want to be a part of the collective, when you saw the brand, a lot of brands may not be listed because they don't hold the values of the collective. And some of the values of the collective is very clear. It's number one, you need to have 85% of your inventory has to be in the size 16 or larger. Period.
Period.
You can't say you serve curvy brides with 6 gowns. We only get 6 gowns? No, you come to
when there's like 2,000 of the other sizes?
Exactly. So these retailers have invested, and they've also invested in value lines, which means that our brides got as far as $1,200 to $1,500. Because one of the things we love to tell our brides in the search, the quality of your gown, the way it photographs the fabric is important. Please know that. It's not one day. People always like to say, oh, it's just one day. No, it's a moment that will last a lifetime.
Oh.
Yes. Because I look at my pictures all the time. I'm just saying, those are so short on that one.
So you have the Curvy Bridal Collective on Instagram, and it's becoming like it's starting there, but it's growing into a movement of where you can find different bridal boutiques or different types of dresses, and it's all these people coming together to better serve the plus size bridal customer.
Exactly.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. And then, so from there, will you have a website?
We will. So the website is under development. That's why we're launching in about 2 weeks. So the website is under development. What you can do is you can actually go inside of the Instagram profile and click the link, and it'll show what state it is, and it'll tell you to shop in the state in the interim. But once the website is created, it is actually going to just be the United States of America, and we have brides in England. We have shops in England and in the UK and in Paris and in South Africa. So we have brides, we have everywhere. And so you'll click on your area and click in that locale, and it'll tell you who the person is, what the hours of operations are, what brands they sell, and what discounts are available to you by being part of the collective.
Nice. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's so funny. So we'll have to talk sidebar because there's something that I'm working on that actually like kind of syncs like in line with. So we'll have to talk offline because that's beautiful and I'm so excited about that. So you were talking about your dresses. So if you guys are just tuning in, we're here with the owner of Haute Co. Am I saying it right? Haute Co? Am I saying it right?
Yeah. Think of it like oatmeal.
Haute Co. Okay. Haute Co Bridal Boutique, Miss Shannelle. And she's talking about, she's a bridal owner, a bridal boutique owner, and how she's been impacted, what they're doing to pivot. And even if you are a new bride to be, or you're newly engaged and you're trying to figure out like this world is like crazy right now, she is making appointments to kind of, it's like the pre-appointment. So you can kind of get enough feel for the boutique and the owner and seeing if this is the right place for you and kind of get a feel for what you're looking for. And then from there, once things start to kind of go, there's no more normal. So whatever it is that's like post coronavirus, right? So post this, you'll be able to then make your appointments to come in and see them. Correct?
Right. Correct.
And then she also just launched the collective with quite a few other plus size bridal boutique owners, not just in the United States, but in the UK as well.
Correct.
More London though, right?
Yes. London, yeah, more London.
Yes. And so if you guys have a plus size bride or homegirl who's like newly engaged or like has been kind of searching and she hasn't found her dress yet, I challenge you to share this Facebook Live with them, invite them over here, because the whole point of us doing this, speaking of curves, is to support, find different ways that we can support our small business owners, because we are the ones who help push and challenge the industry to move forward. And without these businesses, designers, brands, retailers, influencers, we don't want to stop the growth. We want to keep it going. And this is this is one of the ways that I'm showing support, is to be able to give people like yourself, Shannelle, the platform to talk about it a little bit. So I asked each person whom I've had on so far how they're doing mentally and what you're doing for self-care, because it's kind of intense.
It is really tough. I want to say that, and I'm so glad you asked that question, because a lot of times that, especially as women of color, we put on that Superman cape and try to say that everything is okay, and the reality of it is, it's not okay.
I know.
It's not okay with a lot of us. It's not okay with me. It's not okay that, my business has been open for 7 years, and I've had to close it down. It's been closed for almost 6 weeks. It's not okay that, you begin to ask yourself, will I be able to make it through it? It's not okay because you get afraid that when it reopens, what will the new normal look like?
Right.
Those brides that we built that relationship with come by. And more importantly, I feel like I am incredibly blessed and highly favored, because, I have a wonderful, supportive husband who says the same thing to me every day. Hey, it's just one day at a time. It's just one day at a time.
Sometimes an hour at a time.
And so, speak on that. I was like, an hour. I said it could get down to, what do I have to do in this next hour? Who can I email? What do I have to do? And the smallest tasks can seem very overwhelming to an entrepreneur during this time. I have friends who are with family, some that are not married, trying to figure this thing out of entrepreneurship. And that's really tough, because you're self-isolating. Oh, yes. You're self-isolating, and you're running the business. You're responsible for payroll. You're responsible for a number of things. And all of a sudden,
it's like the ground's been pulled from you.
Yes, and it's so tough. It's so tough. And we have to really check in on our entrepreneurs and figure out how we can support them. Because one of the easiest things you could do, we would share with anyone, we beg of everyone, is to continue to share about that curvy retailer in your area. I was a big supporter of a lot of independent designers. I am 6 foot tall.
Okay, girl. One time for the tall plus size girls.
Yeah, listen. I'm 6 foot tall.
I'm barely there. I'm only 5'8".
You almost there.
I'm in that weird gray area where I'm too tall to be short and too short to be tall.
Yes. You know what? I was there when I was in the 9th grade.
Oh my gosh.
And then I shot up and just became tall. And I wear heels. And when people support me by showing that they're going to invest in clothing for myself, that they're going to invest in clothing that fit, that look great, I'm 100% on board with that. I just want women in this space to just own their curves and just own and support people who support them, and go to those brands that truly support them. Because if we want parity in apparel, then we're going to have to get parity in pricing and parity in opportunity. And we shouldn't all be relegated to just shopping online because people don't want to invest in brick and mortar 24/7. That shouldn't be our choice. Now, I'm not saying anything about online shopping because I do it myself. I'm saying there's certain experiences that we want to be able to continue to enjoy just like everyone else does. Period. I
Period.
love online shopping. And there are a couple of brands that I shop on a regular basis. And thank you for the codes, Marie. Keep doing your thing. Thank you for them codes so that we can get them discounts. But there are brands that there are certain experiences that I want to have in store. And you know that. I mean, you just want to be treated like everyone else.
Right, and I think that's where some of the challenge comes from with we just actually reshared a post yesterday talking about what brands can do to better serve the plus size consumer. And it's like, we don't want like a plus only or online only versions. We want to go in, our money is just as green. The $24 billion industry is just as green. Like, how much of that pie are you about to get? It's funny because each year when we do our bridal roundups, our bridal boutique, seeing the list grow, seeing the list change, it's always very encouraging and exciting because, we have like this whole, as you can see the growth, right?
Yeah.
Where you actually have enough to do a full list, you actually have enough to do a full, we're evolving. And some brands, and now we can cut through the BS with these brands. Like, we know that you're only patronizing me because you want a little bit of that coin. We know better. We're going to be like,
Right? Exactly. Johnny come lately to the party with the cheap goods. No.
right.
I want the most fabulous things that my money can deliver. And it can deliver fabulosity. And I want it. And I don't want to be relegated to the corner of a store, to the basement. I want to be treated on the main floor. I've had so many conversations with different retailers about this. I know, like you have. And one of the things the retailer said to me was, well, we just want her to shop where she's most comfortable. I said, who told you she wasn't comfortable in store?
Right.
Who told you
Right.
that?
Because in their mind, her comfort is not leaving the house because she is a plus size woman who is in transition, who they still are assigning or buying into these old tropes of the plus size person. They don't think she's confident. They don't think that she loves her body. They don't think that she loves color or loves silhouettes and shapes and yada, 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 yada.
Yes. And here's the funny thing is, I kid you not. Brides walk into the shop and they'll say, well, we'll introduce them to different silhouettes, right? Because there's the A-line, the ball gown, the sheath, and the trumpet silhouette, and or the empire waist, which I don't recommend on a lot of people because it sits too high. But a lot of brides will come in and they won't even try on a trumpet. We're like, wait now, we can't ignore the good trumpet silhouette. They were like, well, I'm like, no, let's just try it on. One of my favorite brides came and she wanted to be boho chic. I said, now that's a look. Something what you want. She tried on a couple of dresses. She said, this doesn't look like what I thought it would be. I said, well, can I make some recommendations now? She said, sure. So I grabbed her a trumpet dress.
Now, for those who don't understand, what is trumpet?
Trumpet is hourglass. It actually sits mid-thigh, so it shapes that waist in, pulls in that bust line, shapes that waist, sculpts over the derriere, and slides to mid-thigh. And then it goes out with any volume. So you're really talking about a true hourglass. And I'm going to tell you, this bride put on that gown and stood there and stared at herself. Her mother was staring. Everybody was staring like, oh my gosh. I said, yes.
Yes.
Please believe that we are here to slay. Please believe.
Now,
she was like, would have never bought this type of gown. Yes, because a trumpet silhouette is my favorite. And I will tell you, I sell more trumpet silhouettes in sizes 28 and above than I do anything else. Because we're not afraid. Once you put it on and it's well designed, we are not afraid.
So I don't know if y'all hear that. So one of the things you said 28 and above. From what sizes do you carry in your boutique?
So we carry everything from a 16 to a 32.
Mm-hmm.
So
and do you have custom options available for some like who are like at that 32, 34, 36-ish?
So believe it or not, I would tell you 80 because we do a lot of custom gowns. 85% of every gown that we sell is customized in some way. She's either changing a silhouette. We had a bride I was on back and forth with yesterday. She wants to change the dress from a trumpet silhouette to make it a sheath cut.
Okay.
and she wants to extend the sleeves, and then she wants to bring the back up some. So we do a lot of customization, and definitely for brides who, let's say, maybe a size 20, a 34, 36, 40, we absolutely have silhouettes you could try on. We have different kind of tricks and trades to have you feel comfortable in the gown, and then we'll order to measure. So we'll
Okay.
take your measurements and then we'll order that. We're very fortunate. Again, we work with designers, not manufacturers. So our designers are cutting in real time when we order the gowns. So we're very fortunate in that regard.
That's beautiful. That's great to hear. So, I mean, because, I mean, not only is it challenging because most brands stop at a 24, but then, you know, even having those in-store experiences as someone a 3X and above, like, that's something, like, even when we do our roundups on our site, like, we start to list out our size ranges with the items we pick because, and then we, you know, I try my darndest to find products that fit our roundups that are 3X and up to 6X plus if it's available. So I applaud you for that because it can be quite challenging.
And it's one of the things that is the real reason why a lot of people are in business in curvy is because they want to continue to serve the bride that was underserved. And I feel like I've done my job when everyone can walk into a store and be served, no matter what your size is. And that's possible. You know, there's no such thing as perfection. We always tell our brides you're going to need some level of alterations for sure. Again, like I'm 6 foot tall, so I'm going to actually have probably a little bit more inches added to the bottom of a dress. You know, I have longer arms, so I may, you know, I'm a person who's you get something that normally stops around here. I have it extended. I'll be very careful with sleeves. So you're going to have some level of alterations. Don't let that deter you. Nothing's going to fit the way it does off the rack, and we know off the rack ain't all it's cracked up to be at times.
That's real. That's real. So, where are you located? Tell everyone where you're located, where and how they can contact and reach you. Like give all the information because we've got folks who are like, yes, like whenever I get married, I know I can't wait to try on my dress. Like they're talking about, yes, my favorite is the trumpet. Like let everyone know where they can find you, your address, your website, all the details.
Okay, so we have two locations, brick and mortar. One is in Chicago in Lincoln Park. So we're up on the north side of Chicago, Lincoln Park at 1760 North Clybourne. And then we have another location in the South End area of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh.
So those are the two locations that are brick and mortar. Secondly is you can always reach us on Instagram at Haute, HAUTEANDCO, Haute and Co on Instagram. If you connect to me through Instagram, I promise you, I personally check our Instagram, so you'll be talking directly with me on by and large, and I respond to all the Instagrams and DMs. I actually like getting DMs. I mean, you know, the legitimate ones, not some of the ones I could, no, thank you. But I love when brides DM me questions. And I will tell you, we have on our website, if you go to our website, which is HAUTEANDCO.com, if you go to our website, there actually is a ebook that I created myself. It's beautiful, and you can sign up and get a copy of it, and then it'll walk you through everything from alterations, from silhouettes, to sizing, to fitting, to what you do after you get your gown. You know, make everything about the process simply for curvy brides. I spent a lot of time really becoming a resource. We recognize that everyone may not be able to make it to our boutique, but if you want to know how, here's how to buy a dress. And one of the things that we stress is if you can't come to us, please go to a curvy retailer. Please do. Because you're going to find your best selection with curvy retailers.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Shannelle, for joining in with us. For you guys who are just tuning in, we're about to wrap up. Each Tuesday and Thursday, we will be interviewing, featuring, talking with a different business owner, boutique owner, designer, influencer, you know, people in the community whom you could still support through this time and kind of moving forward. So if you have a plus size bride friend, a friend who's like about to get married, just got engaged, looking for something, make sure you share this with them so that they know the different resources that are available. Later on in the day, we will actually recap our call, and I'll include links, especially to that ebook that you were talking about, so that you can find out what's going on and what to know and where, and kind of bookmark it so that you don't lose it, right? So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, Shannelle, for joining us. I'm Marie Danae, the creator of The Curvy Fashionista. And until next Tuesday, I'll see you guys then. Bye now.